What's up, everybody? Going to podcast now. I'm Alex, and this week I want to discuss if Fast and Furious 9 will be delayed. Now, this is because, and I always want to start these videos. We've done a couple of these videos in the past couple days. I always want to start them by saying I can't say the actual word. I can't put in the title. I can't say the word. YouTube absolutely hates the word. They demonetize. They pull down videos that have the word. It's the thing going around the world. There's really no other way to say it. And I'm sure that a lot of people know it by now. I want to talk about if that is going to impact Fast 9 in any way. It's already impacted films like No Time to Die, the James Bond film that was delayed now 7 months from when it was originally supposed to come out. And there were talks a few weeks ago that once that happened, once James Bond was moved, there were talks from the different studio executives, or from the studio heads basically, and the rumor was that movies like Black Widow, movies like Fast 9, movies like even SpongeBob, which is a funny one to throw in there, but that one was included, and Wonder Woman. So, SpongeBob, I guess, eliminated. The three biggest movies coming out, I believe, in the first half of this year. I think that's pretty safe to say, right? The three biggest movies all are saying that they're staying in their spots, okay? So that's very good news. Now, Vin Diesel, a few days ago, was on the Today Show promoting Bloodshot, in which he then reaffirmed that by saying, like, hey, we're doing it, and he talks about, like soldiers, they just show up, right? And he said, Fast 9's staying there. We're going to do it. Now, okay, that's great to hear. Honestly, it's fantastic to hear that, because, and he went down the line of, like, we need movies more than ever. Like, movies are this kind of, safe haven, and, the film industry is already being threatened, stuff like that. He said a lot of really good things, to be honest with you. It makes me feel confident that at least, like, the head guy, basically, not necessarily, like, the one who's the decision maker for these kind of things, but somebody of Vin Diesel's caliber is saying it. So that's all fine and good. But he can say whatever he wants. A few weeks ago, they can say whatever they want. But the facts are the facts, and I mean, we can believe whatever we want to believe, and I'm not going to stop you from believing. And I also I do want to make it clear, I'm not part of the mass hysteria. I'm not part of the paranoia that's going around with this thing. I definitely want to say that. I know maybe some of my videos maybe have painted me as that, but I'm absolutely not. In fact, I'm on the completely opposite fence. And that's why it is kind of hard for me to talk about these things, to try and keep my own personal beliefs out of it. But you have to look at just what's going on, which kind of sucks, because while I don't support or believe in this mass hysteria, it's taken its roots, and we've seen all of these things being canceled. We've seen all these things being delayed. Again, movie industry specifically, James Bond, that's a big one. That's a really, really big one. And while no other movie has moved yet, that is definitely a big one. And I feel like Black Widow, which I believe we're going to have another video on talking about if Black Widow could get delayed, I think that's the one that'll end up making the decision for the rest. If Black Widow is delayed, I feel like the rest of these will absolutely be delayed. I think Fast 9, I guess SpongeBob, and I believe Wonder Woman. Those three would be delayed as well if Black Widow is moved. Now, the thing with Fast 9, or Fast and Furious in general, is it's a big China movie. China really, really helps these Fast and Furious movies. And so, again, this is a billion-dollar franchise, okay? Every movie, not literally every single one that's come out, but over the last several, it is a slam dunk. You're making $1 billion, right? And Fast 9 is not going to stop that trend, okay? If there's no external factors, I 1,000% believe Fast 9 would make $1 billion. I think that would just be absolutely guaranteed, because it's a franchise that not only has kept its momentum for so long, but it's also growing and continued to grow, which is absolutely amazing. And that's part of the reason why I love this franchise. But with what's going on in China, that is huge. We've seen films even past James Bond, like Sonic. Sonic had its Chinese premiere date moved, right? We're seeing actually a couple different movies move their premiere dates in general, or just move the Chinese one. So a lot of things going on, and that's because, again, the Chinese film market is very, very big. So if Chinese people, if they can't go see this movie when it releases, that could be massive. No, it's not the full $1 billion, but it could be 300, it could be 200 million, 300 million, 400 million. It can be a lot of money they'd be losing out if this thing doesn't happen. So while I don't think, unless things continue to get like insanely worse in the North America, let's say, I don't think it would be stopped here. And that's what a lot of, we've talked about the game industry a lot on this channel. We talked about a lot of different things that have been impacted by this. And I think that when it comes to North America, it's tough for something like a game or like a video game in general or like a gaming console, the problem would probably be just bringing it over here, right? If it's like the PS5, you have to ship it from overseas, so that could be a problem. But I think just the general idea of America or of North America, if you want to take the whole continent, right? I feel like it's less of a slam dunk that it would be canceled, right? I feel like for other places it would be a whole lot more likely, but I feel like for North America it would be a little bit more safer. Movie-wise too, I mean, we're seeing movies definitely take big hits, but it's hard to honestly say why. We see Onward over the past week. Onward had like the worst Pixar opening ever. And you could say, okay, well, is it because of, The Thing? Or there was actually a couple other things in that movie itself, and maybe it's just not all that good. I mean, there's a lot of factors, and it's actually almost, I'd say, next to impossible to measure what's the specific reason why that movie bombed, right? Or is it, I mean, yes, it's a combination of reasons, I'm sure, but how much of a percentage does each one make up? It's hard. And again, we have really no way of predicting how much further this is going to go over the next couple months. And with Fast 9 releasing in 2 months, right? Late May, I think May 22nd, that's quite a while away. There's a lot that can happen between now and then. There's a lot. It could get a lot worse. It could actually start to get better. We don't know. And if it does get worse, though, I think questions would be there. Does it get better in China, but then worse here? And then do they still say, well, we're still going to do it because now the Chinese market maybe opens up back again and maybe we can make more money there? It's difficult. And to be honest, again, my personal belief is it's not going to be Fast 9 that leads the way. I think they'll keep it there until unless something truly massive happens. I think they'll keep it there. I don't think they'll delay it. But again, I think Black Widow, I get it. Fast 9 is more reliant on China, so you could say, well, why does it have to rely on Black Widow? I just feel like because of the Marvel perspective, because of how big people think that movie can be, and that movie would be very, very big in Black Widow. And again, I think a lot of film companies probably look to Marvel for that. I mean, we've never had a situation like this. You could say, do they look at them for a situation like this if we've never had one? But I just feel like with Black Widow being that first major film, Quiet Place is still happening, Bloodshot's still happening. There's a lot of movies that are still happening. But again, James Bond's gone. But Black Widow is that first massive one. And to be honest, it could turn out that Fast 9, with, again, no external factors, it's very possible. In fact, I would say it's more likely Fast 9 makes more money than Black Widow. I think that's actually going to happen. In fact, I think Fast 9 is going to make the most money of all these movies. Out of Black Widow, out of Wonder Woman, I think it's going to beat both of them, to be quite honest with you. So again, I don't, you could maybe even look at them, are they kind of the leaders? And if they were to move their movie, would Black Widow move it? I just feel like because Black Widow is that first one, and again, because it's May 1st, right, it's a little bit earlier, it's 3 weeks earlier than Fast 9, I feel like that's the one that people are probably looking at and saying, okay, well, if that one moves, then we have to seriously consider it because we don't know and things could get worse in a couple weeks. And if Marvel is scared enough to move, then what does that say for us? Should we do it as well? So I mean, I honestly don't know, guys. My personal prediction is with how strong they've been on it, I want to believe they're going to keep it there. I mean, Vin Diesel put his cards on the table and said, no, we're leaving it at that date. So I mean, as of right now, I would say no. I'd say it's going to stay there. But to be completely honest, I mean, predicting it, I love predictions. Predictions are my favorite thing to do on this channel, other than theorizing, which are basically predictions, right? I love doing it, but with something like this, something that you really can't measure and something you can't really predict how far it's going to go, it's very, very difficult. I wouldn't be shocked. I'd be very, very sad. I'd be it's going to hurt me. It would definitely hurt me if they moved that movie. I mean, I would definitely be disappointed. I guess I would understand it, but I would be very, very disappointed if it were to do that. I'd be pretty sad about that. But I'm hoping that doesn't happen. I mean, I would see it night one. I don't care what the situation is. I will see it night one if it releases in theaters when it's supposed to. Guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think this movie Fast 9 is still going to release on May 22nd? Do you think it'll end up being pushed? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit that bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up. And we will continue talking about Fast and Furious as much as we possibly can whenever something new comes out, if there's new trailers, and hopefully the movie still comes out when it's supposed to, and we will, of course, cover it there as well. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you all on the next video.